So guys, after our first game in the Vase, that's got to be, well, it's disappointing to say the least.
That's the easy word to use. It is just not good enough. I think apologies pretty much go to the fans. We've come into this game in some good form. We've had some good training sessions that have built up to it. We've come with what we thought was a good game plan, and we've simply not executed it enough.
Because we had all that ball and did nothing with it. I mean, we've given them 2 goals more or less, and nothing else has happened.
There's no more or less about it. We've given them 2 goals, and we've had the ball and done nothing with it. Yeah. Which is not what we've gone for in the slides, isn't it? If anything, they've done everything that we've said not to do. So,
yeah, because I mean, Larkfield just had a simple plan: lump it forward, run onto it, and it wasn't even really that effective. First goal was just farcical. Second goal, we just gave them one.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to come across as sour grapes, and fair play to the guys. They've got themselves in the hat for the next round. So, you know, don't want to make it about them. We just feel we haven't unfortunately turned up today, which is bitterly disappointing.
Yeah, because I mean, it's back to how we were at the beginning of the season, where we were giving away silly goals in defence, where the defence has been really tight. And we've got the second tightest in the league now, and it's just looks shaky today.
it was, look, we've given away gifts. There's a lot that we could dwell on with individual moments, but it's not individual moments. It's been the whole course of the game. We've just not played very well, both with and without the ball. Sometimes you get games like that at this level. I guess that's why you play at this level. The problem is this isn't the game you want to do it, and it's not the competition you want to do it. We made it quite clear at the beginning, didn't we? There's no second chance of this. There's no next game to go and make it up.
Yeah, because it's not like you did nothing. I mean, you brought Reece on for Robbie, you put subs on again, and it just nothing seemed to come off.
Just really an attempt to roll the dice and just see if changing the formation would change the pattern of the game in our favour, because
That's all we can do, isn't it? We're not trying to affect it that way.
That's pretty much us, you know, and I think it maybe just shows, obviously it shows we're not where we need to be just yet. Probably highlights the fact we're still a little bit inconsistent. I mean, as you say, the goals today were really poor, but they're the same players who've performed well and kept clean sheets recently. So yeah. I think the disappointing thing is, on a day like this, where a couple of people have made mistakes, no one's been able to grab it by the scruff of the neck and just change the direction of the game. Yeah. It's almost just petered out with a bit of a whimper, which is incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, I think that sums it up, because everyone in the side is saying, well, if you watch the highlights of that game, you'd wonder how we've lost 2-0. They've had 2 goals in our half virtually with that were threatening, 1 more maybe, I think, and then we've had the ball and we've lost.
I think like you've just said, you have games where people are going to have an off game. Like we said it, not everyone's going to perform 100% every single game. You're going to have an off one. But generally when that happens, there's someone else around them or next to them that picks the game up by the scruff of the neck and helps them through it. Today we're looking at it going, well, we could do this change, we could make this change, and we've got too many people and too many systems. I mean, we always write some down. We've had 4, 5, 6 options before we've selected which one to go with. Maybe it was the wrong one to go with, but unfortunately we're having to have so many options, whereas generally shape isn't something we've had to look at recently, is it?
No. Well, that's it, 'cause I don't think anybody's had a bad game, just nobody's had a good game, if that makes sense. You know, there weren't anybody having a real shocker. It was just we just did not play as a unit.
I mean, it felt to me like we give the ball away cheaply a lot. So to say no one's had a bad game, we're not gonna come on camera and pick out individuals. That wouldn't be fair. But I don't think anyone, if they're going to honestly look in the mirror tonight, is going to give themselves 7 out of 10 plus. And you know, and we've all got to take our part in the failure.
They're all 6s. They're all 5s and 6s. Nobody had a shocker.
5s and 6s ain't good enough, is it?
The thing is, I think things you highlight before the game, we know the pitch is tiny, that's going to have an impact. We highlight that, we work on it in training, we work on how to counteract it, what we're going to do with multiple options. And then you've got players coming over going, oh, it's really tight, the space isn't there for that. So what do we do next? What have we worked on next? And it's those little things that haven't been transferred today that normally are. You guys have said it and seen it in the past, where you can see the conversations happen, penny drop, bang, we go and turn the game around. And you know, it just hasn't happened to them.
Yeah, because I mean their tactics play right to the size of their pitch, aren't they? They're not small, so they just lumped it long.
But
bit physical.
Like I say, fair play. You know, if this is your pitch and that's going to work,
Yeah.
the 100's
That's what
gonna
you
do
do.
it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, the frustrating thing is if we know that and the players know that, they still didn't adapt to it.
Well,
Just weren't able to take control of the game and execute the plan that we felt would win. I mean, we'll never know if it will because we weren't able to execute it. I think, like, you know, in all honesty, with the exception of Walder's shot in the second half, I don't believe their keepers had to make a save. And regardless of tactics, regardless of game plan, if you pretty much give the other side 2 goals and only work their goalkeeper once, well, I ain't got to be Stephen Hawkins to work out that's not a winning formula.
Is there any reason why they all don't? I mean, I know they're going to be inconsistent because we're at the level we're at, but I mean, you look at that and I can't think why they would suddenly be so poor.
Well, look, ultimately, we're saying over there, just a matter as we debrief, we're saying ultimately the buck stops with us.
Yeah.
Whether it's the player's performance or not, it still stops with us. You know, you can look at it one way and say there's teams that will turn up to matches and will go, oh, you're going to play here, we're going to boom here, and they kind of go with that. Potentially, we've thrown a lot of detail at them. Maybe that's what's causing some inconsistency.
So you need to simplify it, maybe.
Or just not necessarily simplify it, but how much we're chucking at them. To us, it kind of makes a bit of sense, and to them, they get it. They do it in training, do it in spells. But it was just, I don't know if the emotion has just taken over today.
Some in one of the other games you said they revert to tie.
I think you've only got to look at the pattern of our results to say we're inconsistent. You know, pretty much the same side that's battered Erith Belvedere, that's kept a clean sheet comfortably last week, has now lost today, lost against Stansfeld, and you know, to be fair, nicked a win against Welling. Unfortunately, we're in a stage where we're just a bit inconsistent, and we've all got to look in the mirror at why that is. You know, I can guarantee you it's not certainly from Luke's point of view and mine, it's not from not putting enough time and attention into it, but you know what, you're dealing with human beings. There ain't no guaranteed answer to a problem sometimes.
It's one thing I was scratching my head. It was like, look, what do you do next week? Do you make changes? But you'd made changes this week, which on paper looked really good.
It's this debrief. We debrief ourselves, then we take the emotion out, we debrief with the players, we go through, we clip the game, we find out. The thing with this, for me, is they've defended today exactly how personally I felt Bearsted did last weekend.
Yeah.
And the plan that we've gone for, our style of play, we recognised it, we adapted to it, we played what we're going to do as our secondary option. In that instance, we haven't today. So we need to look at why, and this is where the buck stops with us. We look at why, we go and address it ahead of next week. Ivesy went and watched Punjab the other day, didn't you? So we've got
again, it's not for lack of, you know, it's not like we're turning up here taking it for granted, thinking we're playing some team from the league below. We're fully aware that these guys are serious, that they're going for promotion, and to be fair, all the boys knew that. I mean, I can tell you now, the chat in the changing room, some of which was initiated by the players, it certainly weren't, this is going to be easy. I think we all knew what we were in for today, but unfortunately, it hasn't happened. I don't think we can give you the magic answer. We'll watch the game back, we'll reflect on it.
So what happens now then? Do you have Tuesday and Thursday with the players?
Right.
Tuesday,
so you've got 2 days.
2 more sessions, so we'll get to work. We won't dwell on this too much, the same as we don't dwell on wins too much, but we'll look at what issues are here today that might crop up in the future that need addressing to take them out. And we'll get to work on that and make sure that we're as prepared as we possibly can for Punjab, who again are a very, very difficult side at their ground and they're in for.
Yeah. And there's going to be other games where we play on a tight pitch against a side that are quite direct. So we can't make this be, oh no, we're no good on a tight pitch. You know, we've got to make sure, if nothing else, it's the learning experience that next time we're on a small pitch against a side that want to go quite direct. And actually, we've already had that, and it hasn't caused us as much of a problem in the past. So. Is it just a bad day? How do you not have bad days in life? You tell me, you know. But it's disappointing for everyone because we know the tradition of the Vase with this club, and it's exceptionally disappointing. So, and you know, feel particularly flat that we've just kind of let everyone down. But
I think everybody will hurt till about Wednesday, and then we'll start looking for the Punjab because all the people that were here, they'll all be here next week because we're all behind the team, which is the good point. The fact we had 4 of the players in with the fans today, which sort of shows everything you need.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. You guys will be there again. You will be singing again. You're singing when we're losing. You're singing about singing when you're losing. we've got to give some back. So yeah, we can't keep taking things like that for granted.
But I don't think you need to be hard. Like I said, don't be hard. Just work out what it was and go next week. Because yeah, it's disappointing. But we know we'll have much better days other days.
Yeah.
Can't wait for, and everybody's just ready for Punjab now.
Bottom line is, there's got to be a reaction now, hasn't there? You know, we've let everyone down, we've let ourselves down. The boys all wanted, we all wanted a Vase run. Not going to happen now. All we can do is pick ourselves up, show that, show that we can be consistent, show that we can go on a run now. We've got some games coming up which is going to be important for the season. So we'll have a good week on the training ground and try and move on. That's all we can do.
Real well, can't wait for next Saturday now.